The topic for today is les expressions négatives, or negative expressions. This is something that you did in French 2 last year, but we're going to review the negatives and add in a few more that you haven't seen yet. So I'll go through what the French term is and what the examples are in English to give you a sense of how to use them and give you any more detail as needed as we go through them. So starting off with ne pas, which you're all familiar with right from French 1. It's the expression for not. It's just your basic negation. If you want to be a little stronger than that, ne pas du tout is not at all. An example like tu aimes les légumes, do you like vegetables? Je n'aime pas du tout les légumes. So it's just stronger than saying I don't like vegetables. It's saying I don't like vegetables at all. Ne jamais for never or not ever. An example of vous allez souvent au musée. Do you often go to the museum? Nous n'allons jamais au musée. We never go to the museum. So this would be one you'd use often with questions when it has an often, a sometimes, or an always expression. Ne rien for nothing or not anything. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? What are you doing? Je ne fais rien. I'm not doing anything. Ne personne for no one or not anyone. Tu connais quelqu'un à la fête? Do you know someone at the party? Je ne connais personne à la fête. I don't know anyone at the party. Ne plus or ne plus, it's pronounced both ways. It's just a regional thing for no longer or not anymore. And a lot of times you're going to see this with the word encore, the word meaning still. Vous êtes encore à la bibliothèque? Are you still at the library? No, nous ne sommes plus à la bibliothèque. No, we're no longer at the library. Ne ni ni, this is a new one. It's kind of an interesting one. It's for neither nor. It's when you want to répondre no aux deux choix pour une question l'un ou l'autre. To respond no to both choices of an either or question. Like, tu aimes les pommes ou les oranges? Do you like apples or oranges? Je n'aime ni les pommes ni les oranges. I like neither apples nor oranges. So we'll talk in a minute about where these go, but with the ne ni ni, you're putting each ni in front of each option. So the first choice was les pommes, so ni les pommes. Second choice was les oranges, ni les oranges in your answer. The hardest one here to use is ne aucun, and it is basically the equivalent of not a single one. It's a negative adjective, which means it's going to have adjective agreement there. An example of il a beaucoup d'amis. Does he have a lot of friends? No, il n'a aucun ami. He has not a single friend or not any friends is probably how we'd say it in English. So because it works differently than how we use it in English, it can be pretty tough to use correctly in French. And of course, feel free to pause this video at any point so that you can fill in your own notes. Placement, order of words. In your examples here, I just gave you ne pas each one, but you could swap in any of the negative words, whether it's pas du tout, jamais, rien, personne, whichever one you have would go in the place of the pas that you've got right there. So in the present tenses we've done since French 1, you've got to start with your subject, and then the verb goes inside the ne pas, or the other negative word, inside that sandwich. When you've got the passé composé or any other compound tense, you've got your HV, your helping verb, and the past participle, your abbreviations there. So you've got your subject, ne, and then the helping verb, pas, and then the past participle. So you're sandwiching only the helping verb in your negative. With one exception being when you're using ne personne, is you've got both the helping verb and the past participle inside your negative there. I have no idea why that one's different, but it just happens to be that that one has a different order there. So to get you started on the practice, I have a note here that often there's more than one correct answer. So let's see, what's the best example of that? So you could look at one like number 5. Est-ce que tu invites Paul ou Pierre? Are you inviting Paul or Pierre? You could say something like, I'm inviting neither Paul nor Pierre with ne ni ni. You could say you're inviting no one with ne personne. So I'm not looking, when you hand this in, I'm not looking for the correct answer. I'm looking for a correct answer that forms a working negative. It might mean that you use one like ne rien 4 or 5 times out of these 10, and that's okay. As long as it works to negate it, you can use any one that you want. And I gave you some helpful translations of the English here, because if we were doing this in class, I know that these are the ones that people would ask. What does the question mean? So again, feel free to pause at any point if you need to write those down on your copy. But we'll get started on doing a couple of these together. So if you've got the first question, est-ce qu'ils aiment les pamplemousses ou les ananas? So you've got an either or question. Do they like grapefruit or pineapple? Most likely you're going to want to answer with ne ni ni in this case. And because it's a they question, we'll keep our subject the same in the answer. So we would say il n'aime ni les pamplemousses. Just going to abbreviate for space here. Ni les ananas. A common mistake here is that people tend to keep the ou in their answer, but that would be like saying they like neither grapefruit nor or pineapple. So you want to make sure when you answer with ne ni ni that you take the ou out of your response. Now you could also use ne aucun in this case, and you could say il n'aime aucun fruit. They don't like a single fruit. So that's what I mean about having more than one correct answer. The ne ni ni is the more obvious answer, but there are other ways you could answer it. Second one here is a passé composé question. As-tu rencontré la fille? Have you met the girl or did you meet the girl? You could answer in a couple different ways. You could say that you met, or I met no one, or I never met the girl, or I didn't meet the girl. The one I had intended was for no one, but of course there's more than one correct answer. So again, we've got the passé composé. The tu in the question is going to have to change to je in the answer. So a logical answer would be je n'ai rencontré personne. With this one, of course, being the exception where you've got the helping verb and the past participle together inside the negative, only for ne personne. So I'll do one more with you, and then your homework will be to finish up this page and submit it through Google Classroom. You've got travaille-t-il encore à McDo? Does he still work at McDonald's? Most logical answer here would be to say he no longer works at McDonald's with ne plus. So again, with il as the subject, it stays il in the answer. So il ne travaille plus à McDo. So again, you'll finish this page and submit it through Google Classroom. If you've got any questions, feel free to email and I will answer the best that I can through email for that.